ISIS's ideology, rhetoric, and long-term goals are similar to Al-Qaeda's because they were once formerly allied. Today, you should listen to me because not only will I teach you about ISIS, but I will teach you about what they do and how they implement their ways of learning different things in their military and in their religion into different countries. You should listen to me today because ISIS has a lot of different things to teach to different people and to different countries, whether that is good or bad. So the first thing I will be teaching you about today is the military identity of ISIS and what they bring in the military. The second thing I'll be teaching you about today is the economic status that they hold. And the third thing I'll be teaching you about today is the spiritual identity of ISIS. So the first thing I'll be teaching you about today is the military identity that ISIS holds. ISIS is not just a terrorist group. They are more than that. They are a very well organized military group, says Audrey Cronin in the World News 2014. So when ISIS takes over a country, they have a very well organized and very well structured way of doing it, and they have a chain of command which they use. They have the commander, and then they have the middle chief, and then they have the soldiers that patrol the countries that they take over. And they are very organized with the way they do things. And not only do they, when they take over, they implement their religion and they implement their ways of military and violence. And they're very violent with the way they do things. And they take over the schools with their military and teach the kids what they want them to learn. And they make sure that not only that they learn what they want, but that they get what they want out of it. And when they are in the country that they take over, they are very violent, and they do not let anybody else practice any other religions, or they do not let anybody else do what they want. It's what they want, and they will get what they want. They patrol the cities and the countries in tanks and in trucks with their military, and they hold their guns up high and their flags, and they make sure that they have complete control over the city at all times. So the second thing that I'll be talking to you about today is the economic status of ISIS. And ISIS's kidnapping. ISIS kidnaps and holds people for ransom for a large sum of money, says John Wooden of the News Daily 2015, as you can see right here with their beheadings. And not only do they kidnap, but when they kidnap, they make sure that they get what they want at all times. They hold visual. They videotape their kidnappings and they make it public with the beheadings, as you can see right here. And they make sure that the public knows that what they want is what they'll get. And when they hold people for ransom, they hold them, the minimum they hold them for is about $200,000 US, and the maximum they've held them to is about $10 million US. And not only are they holding people for ransom, but they're holding people that are in high power for ransom. They are holding US journalists that go over there to try and research on the ISIS organization. They also hold very high leaders of oil companies and of oil refineries, so they can get oil that they need to function. So the second way of them getting their money is by taking over ancient sites. Syria, when they took over Syria had about 12,000 different ancient sites, which ISIS took over every single one. And not only did they take over, but they looted every single site. And they took all the material that they got from there, and they sold it on the black market. And some of these relics date back to 9,000 BC to 10,000 BC. So they are very ancient. And if they do not get the money that they want or expect to get out of these relics on the black market, then they destroy them, and they get away with them. So when they destroy these relics, they don't look twice back at it, and they are destroying some of the most ancient, relics that are known to man in this world, and they are destroying pieces of history that could be used to teach the younger generations. So the third thing I'll be telling you about today is the spiritual identity that ISIS holds. So ISIS holds ISIS's ideology with their spiritual identity has kind of not a big meaning to them, because they don't want people to know that they are very religious. They want to kind of keep it on the back burner. But the only reason why they keep the religion on the front platform is so they can gain political dominance, and the media can promote them and get their name out there so people know what they are and what kind of organization they are. And that's one of the really big reasons why ISIS puts their religion on the front foot. ISIS uses methods like amputations of limbs and heads and arms and stuff, and because they believe in the medieval times of prosecuting people, and when they do this, they hold a very public viewing of it, like I said, and so their religion is not very big to them, as I said, and they do not practice it as much. They want to keep it on the back burner so the Muslim community does not get mad at them, because they are very religious. But like I said, they want to put it on the platform for political reasons. So today I have taught you about 3 things. And the first thing I taught you about today was the military identity that ISIS holds in Syria. And the second thing I taught you about today was the the economic identity that ISIS holds. And the third thing I taught you about today was the spiritual identity that ISIS holds. So not only should you have listened to me because I was teaching you about ISIS, but I was teaching you about ISIS because ISIS is more than just a terrorist group. They're a very well-organized military group, and they will do anything to get what they want. They're relentless, and they just want their word to be out there, and their religion, and their way of prosecuting people and violence. Thank you.